What's up everybody, it's your boy Hokage here. Welcome to the video. Today I'm going to review a couple of Boruto episodes. Now real quick before I start, I have to tell you two things. So the first thing, and I'm saying this because a couple of people commented about that on my previous video, that poster right there, that does not belong to me. Originally I didn't even know what it was. Apparently it's like a rap group, Kanye plus somebody else. In case you didn't know, I'm in college and I have 3 more roommates. So not everything you see belongs to me. That's the first thing. Second thing, obviously another video where I have multiple episode reviews. Even though I said I will stop doing this, I did it again. Hopefully I'll stop. I'm not promising anything. There will be 4 reviews in this video. All of them will be short because I don't want this video to be too long. But at the end of the day, I will give these episodes a rating. I've had super short reviews, I've had incredibly long reviews, and I had normal reviews. But one thing that all those reviews have in common is that each episode got an episode rating from me, okay? And that has been the case since episode 1 of the Boruto series. I'm pretty sure I'm the only YouTuber who has reviewed every single episode since the anime started. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, without further ado, as I said, it's going to be super short reviews, but the episodes will be reviewed. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Episode 123. Now this one is pretty interesting because the content itself, it was good. It was actually great, most of it, but I felt the episode was stretched out. If I look at the episode as a whole, I don't really see too many things going on in the span of like 20 minutes or so. Obviously we had a cool fight between pretty much everybody and that puppet thing or whatever, and I enjoyed some of the moments of the fight, but it was clear to me that this episode was stretched out. I liked the finale of the episode, how URASHIKI appeared. I don't think he's gonna kill anybody. He's not that type of guy. Obviously he has some of his own goals that we are not really aware of yet, and I just hope that as time goes on, more of URASHIKI, his intentions, his backstory and stuff like that gets revealed to us. But basically I like the ending of the episode. It was a good climax, pretty exciting. I don't like, obviously, because my reviewing policy is that if I miss a couple of episodes, I don't just watch all of them and review them separately. I watch an episode, I do a review, watch the next one, do the next review. So obviously I don't know what's gonna happen, but yeah, I suppose we're gonna get like a cool fight between URASHIKI, Boruto, and Shinki, and potentially somebody else, unless Naruto or Sasuke, or both of them intervene. I don't see how they're gonna cope with URASHIKI because he's a fucking Otsutsuki. But yeah, I thought that was exciting. Boruto and Shinki had another convo moment in this episode, and they've already had this conflict about being rational before, but the difference between all the previous conflicts and this one was that, and I'm pretty much quoting Boruto here, he was like, all I cared about was how I felt. I didn't take your emotions into account. And then he goes on and just confirms his point of view and says that he will try to both do the mission in a proper way and protect his friends. And then Shukaku's like, oh, it's obvious that you're Naruto's son or whatever. So at first it seems like it's just a repetition, the same old conflict, but the difference is that Boruto kind of apologized to Shinki for not for not taking into account how Shinki felt. So that was a nice little character development moment right there for Boruto. As I previously mentioned, the fight was great. I'm not gonna get into too much detail because obviously, as I said earlier in the intro, this will be a video that consists of short reviews. I want to watch the next episode as soon as possible and review it. I'll see you in the next one. But before I move on, I obviously have to give this episode a rating. My goodness, I forgot to do it. I'm doing it now. This episode gets an 8 out of 10. The reason why I took away 2 points, 2 rating points, is because of the stretched out aspect that I personally felt like was there in this episode. So yeah. Episode 124 was much better than episode 123 and much more enjoyable, in my opinion. But I usually don't like to compare episodes, so let's just get into the review of this episode individually. So at the start, the episode kind of starts off funny with like Boruto teasing Shinki. He was like, "Aren't you a little bit happy?" Because like obviously he's teasing him for never showing any emotions and acting like a machine. And by the way, he apologized to Shinki for telling him that he's a machine in this episode. Another character development moment. um, yeah, now I said this in my episode 123 review. Urashiki doesn't seem like the guy who just goes on and kills people. This episode kind of proved that he didn't kill. Was it Dojo, the name of that guy? I forgot. And his daughter, he didn't really kill them. I mean, he nearly killed the guy, but not really. If he wanted to, he could just easily end their lives. But that's just not how Urashiki is. And honestly, I like Urashiki's character. He's still super mysterious. Depending on what his goals, motivations, backstory are, I might not like him as much, or maybe we never get these things. But yeah, he's a cool little character. Now, and I know this is gonna look like I'm nitpicking, but it's just the way I review episodes. I have to take like zero point 0.2 away from this episode for the fact that that guy survived that rock. Now, I instantly thought of Obito, how he survived that huge rock, but that was bullcrap. He should have died from that. It's just not possible that he would survive that. Literally, not possible. I get it, it's anime, it's not real life, but still, whatever. But yeah, so far 0. 0.2, minus 0. 0.2 because of that. And also, why didn't the man speak while he was under that? Also, I get it, Shinki acts like a machine, which might change in the future, but why didn't he simply just remove that rock straight away? Why did he, like, I mean, I kind of understand, because logically, that, like, you would think that that man Gojo Dojo, I forgot his name, logically you would think he's dead, and I understand that, but he could have just removed the rock just to confirm it. So another, not even 0. 0.2, 0. 0.3, minus 0. 0.3 because of that. I just thought that was super unrealistic. I get it, Shinki isn't very emotional or whatever, or well, he doesn't show his emotions, that would be the correct way of phrasing it, but he should have just removed it. That was too cruel to just casually comment on it and not do anything. But obviously, because he was pressured, he removed the rock. So yeah, there you go. We had like a little like fight between Boruto, Shinki, and Urashiki. Probably a lot of people would say that Urashiki should be killing them easily. Now, first of all, Urashiki, again, he's not that dude that just goes and kills people. I'm pretty sure he could do that pretty easily to Boruto and Shinki. Second of all, maybe he's just not as strong as Momoshiki, as simple as that. And he was sealed away for a short period in this episode. Overall, plot progression in this episode, tactics, even a bit of comedy. I thought that scene with the One Tails and Boruto talking to that thing, which he thought was One Tails, I thought that was hilarious. And overall, Boruto teasing Shinki at the start of this episode. Even he teased him again later, I think. Yeah, it was not like, it's interesting how Boruto as a series, the anime, often like connects small things to the big picture, to the bigger picture. So like, some people would say that the meeting with Boruto and the man and his daughter from a couple of episodes ago, some people would say it's not too relevant. Why did they add it? Why did they put so much emphasis on it? Boom. They're actually crucial for the plan that was executed in this episode. And my goodness, incredible character development for Boruto, character progression, maturity, whatever. He literally decided to throw away his life just to get this mission done. That was pretty impressive. That said, the rating for this episode is 9.5. Overall, a very good episode. Obviously, at the end, we see a little scene of Sasuke. He's probably going to be back in the next episode. Yeah, on to the next one. Episode 125 concludes the Urashiki arc, I guess. Now, I don't know if it concludes it, because I think that Urashiki will come back, but the thing is, he might come back 50 episodes later, he might come back 10 episodes later, or maybe just in a couple of episodes. I don't really know, but let's just say that this ends this little arc. And overall, episode 125 is, in my opinion, the best episode of this arc, and it's certainly my favorite episode. Boruto, like as a whole, the Boruto anime always has incredible arc climaxes. Even when the arcs aren't the best, the climaxes never fail to surprise in a positive way. Now, this episode, like obviously the Jogan appeared again. It's been so long, and just seeing Urashiki intimidated by Jogan's presence, it gave me the chills. Honestly, I can't wait to get more information about the Jogan. It's already 125 episodes in, and we know so little. But yeah, eventually, once the truth gets, exposed, the wait will pay off. Anyway, the hostage plan that Urashiki had in this episode, it was super smart. Didn't really think about it. I mean, it's not that smart, to be honest, but it's just, I didn't think about it, I guess. But yeah, the fight we had between Boruto, Shinki, and Urashiki, it was animated beautifully. And that also goes together with the climax thing. I feel like the climax fights always have the greatest animation. I mean, like, the most effort is put into that animation. So yeah. Now, Urashiki, when Sasuke appeared, and when Urashiki, that weird thing with his Rinnegan where he disappeared, but he didn't like enter a different dimension according to Sasuke, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But his Rinnegan converted from like a Tomoe Rinnegan that he normally has to like a normal Rinnegan, sort of like the one Pain had. I paused it just to check. I don't know if you guys saw that, but there's there's a lot of mystery behind Urashiki's Rinnegan and his abilities overall. Um, I feel like Urashiki, I think I said this in my episode 124 review, I don't think he's as strong as Momoshiki. Like, obviously, he wasn't defeated by Boruto and Shinki. It was pretty obvious that he defeated them because, I mean, obviously Sasuke appeared and saved them, but they were done. They both fainted after the fight, right? The fight, which not only had great animation, but the choreography, the tactical aspect of it, everything was just beautiful. I don't feel like he's too strong. Like, he still got some damage from Boruto and Shinki, and make no mistake, Boruto and Shinki are not weak. Plus, Boruto had the Jogan, but still. Now, this is just, I guess, not even a theory, but like an assumption that I'm making right now. What if Boruto's Jogan allows him to see like 1 to 3 seconds into the future? Let me explain. When Boruto was exchanging fists with Momoshiki in the versus Momoshiki arc, his Jogan was activated and he was incredibly successful at that taijutsu. And obviously, Momoshiki's taijutsu should be superior right now. But if he can like see 1 to 3 seconds into the future, that would explain it. Now, in this episode, I know that Boruto can like see through dimensions. We even saw it in the Nue arc, but it felt like he could see like a little bit like in advance. Now, I'm not saying this in a factual way, right? That's how I saw it. That's how I perceived that scene. I felt like he could see where Urashiki will appear before he actually appears, right? But I could be 100% wrong. Maybe it's just that he can see through dimensions and he just displayed that ability in this episode like he did in the Nue arc, whatever. My goodness, Nue arc was over 100 episodes ago. Time flies. But yeah, everybody is pretty much alive. I've been saying this throughout this arc. Urashiki is not the type of guy who just kills people, which makes him even more interesting and mysterious because like he could kill all these people, but he just doesn't. Yeah, I think I already said this. Urashiki will most likely attack again, I hope, as soon as possible. Shinki apparently didn't learn anything from Boruto, but that little smile at the end kind of tells you something. I definitely think that Boruto influenced Shinki. I mean, I know that he influenced Shinki. For fuck's sake, Shinki smiled, right? That doesn't happen too often, but yeah, I like their little dynamic. And I can't wait to see what the future brings for these two characters. I wish I could do like a longer review on this episode to get like in depth on all these like small scenes. But I said that in this video, all the reviews would be pretty short, just a couple of minutes long, I guess. So yeah, on to the final episode review of this video. And this episode gets a 10 out of 10, obviously. I'm sorry, but this episode is like top 20 episodes of the entire Boruto anime, at least to me. You guys know that I love slice of life, especially slice of life, which puts emphasis on comedy. Like the episode was funny, but specifically the first couple of minutes when Shukaku and Kurama were roasting each other. I think I had like the biggest laugh I ever had when watching Boruto. I just thought that was hilarious, specifically Kurama's roast towards Shukaku. But yeah, obviously we just had a relatively short arc, but still it was like a Otsutsuki related arc where we had a lot of fighting, a lot of tension, a lot of drama, and so this little slice of life episode is a nice contrast to all of that. I really enjoyed it. I wonder for how long slice of life will last now. I assume like maybe a couple of episodes, maybe one, two, three more episodes. I don't know, and then we're gonna get into next into like into like a serious arc, right? I guess. Um, so yeah, overall I loved the interactions between pretty much everybody in this episode. I think it's super hilarious and even like cute that Himawari doesn't pronounce Shukaku's name properly. She doesn't say Shukaku, she's like Shukaku, you know, like I think that's just adorable. It was funny seeing Himawari at one point in this episode when she said to Boruto, "I'm not a kid anymore." And I'm like, no, you're the most adorable kid ever. And even when you grow up, I'll still have that picture of you when you were a kid. I just think Himawari is like one of the cutest anime characters ever. This sounds so weird, but yeah. Yeah, I don't. Well, in normal circumstances where I like review episodes more in depth, I would obviously make a longer review, but since the reviews are short and this is slice of life, there's not much to speculate here or anything, or like, deeply analyze any scene or whatever. So I'm just gonna like leave it at this for a slice of life episode. This episode gets a 10 out of 10 from me. A beautiful family day, and just quickly before I go, even though there were so many funny scenes, the highlight would be Kurama's and Shukaku's convo at the end. That literally made my heart warm. Like that makes me remember of like early Naruto where like tailed beasts were looked at like demons which just hate humans, and now we have all of this. Um, I wonder what's gonna happen now with all the other tailed beasts and stuff like that. Are we gonna get like a Five Kage summit soon? I don't know. But yeah, I just can't wait for Urashiki to attack again. Because like Sasuke in this episode pretty much confirmed what I said in my episode 125 review. He will strike again. I'm pretty sure of it. And yeah, 10 out of 10 for me. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.